Well guys, if you watched last week's vlog, you realise that I did the outro from the same place. I'm actually doing this intro, and this again is coming to you future Nigel and Nicola. She's in there working. We've actually been to the Cliffs of Moher, but last week's video was dragging on a little bit, so I thought I'd split them into two. So without any further ado, we're just on this pier. Nicola's in there doing a bit of work, but without further ado, we shall go back about 10 hours to us heading along to the little car park, ready for a visit to the Cliffs of Moher. Hope you enjoy. Well, good morning again, folks. Lovely quiet night up at that parking spot. Had a little bit of a sunrise this morning, but it didn't quite pop. But we then made our way. It's about, from where we stopped, it's about a half an hour, 35-minute drive then to this little privately run car park by the sort of a farming family, and it's actually €3 per day to park. Now, as we drove past, we're a little bit confused what the pricing is, but as we drove past the Cliffs car park, it looked like it was €12 per person, €10 for a kid. Now, it looks like this will put us about 3.5 miles away from the Cliffs of Moher Visitor Centre. So you're talking probably a slow amble over the cliffs, probably 3.5 hour return hike back here to the car park. There are loos here as well, and you can stay overnight. I think it's €5 for staying overnight, and I think that also includes obviously access to the car park during the day. So, and I think by road you're about 20 minutes on bikes. So if you had bikes, this is the place to come and stay. So it's on all the usual apps, but yeah, really fantastic, much cheaper than staying in the official car park, and you get a nice walk along the cliffs, which after coffee is exactly what we're going to do. So we'll see you on the hoof. Well, that's us now. Well, actually we've been on the hoof for about 10 minutes or so, but I wasn't able to record anything because all she was talking about was her pants. And
I've not worn the most comfortable ones for walking, so I have to keep adjusting them.
And this is after being slapped in the face with a pair of her wet pants that were drying in the van. So it's been a wonderful start to the hiking morning for me. Let's get on the trail. Guys, that's us about halfway along the cliff path now towards the visitor centre. I certainly recommend doing it this way because we were just talking about, you know, quite often you'll go to your visitor centre, go and see it, 5 minutes later you're back in the car and you're driving off. I remember having that lesson to us whenever we were climbing Table Mountain, and we went up the India Vesta route, which took us several hours to get up, but it really made you appreciate the environment you were in. So this is lovely, €3, access to toilets to that car park. And then it's probably going to take us about 1.5 hours to walk in. Say we're halfway there, and the cliffs are quite impressive as we're walking in. So
I don't think you need me to add anything, do you?
Get the little Irish lilt in behind us there. So good coffee. Average cake, but not a bad price.
Good choice of cake. I made the wrong choice. I had the blueberry, lemon and almond, and it was okay, but I'm regretting not having the carrot cake now.
There's never a wrong choice with cake, unless it's carrot cake and then it's wrong.
Oh, I should have had that.
The visitor centre is worth exploring. Of course, it is free access to the loos, free access to the visitor experience. It's really just the car park that you're paying for. So we're going to now go to wander up to, I think, one of the more famous views of the Cliffs of Moher, and we'll see you up there. There's us talking about lunch, and we've decided to stop and actually have
It
lunch.
is almost midday.
It is almost lunch, so actually we made the proper choice. So we've come over to probably the most famous viewpoint that you would normally see in a lot of the picture postcards, especially whenever the sea pinks are in full bloom.
There's a few.
Yeah, a few.
Oh look, I'm pointing at something I can't see again.
That's also not sea pinks, that's heather. There you go.
When would I ever get anything right, let's face it?
from a light perspective, the optimal time to come is obviously later in the afternoon whenever the sun's illuminating the cliffs. I'm not sure exactly what time of year the sun's on the cliffs, but we're getting a little bit of sea haze, so the cliffs are very much in darkness, which, as you know, we write for a travel magazine, so it would be good to get, because of course they're always looking for images in nice blue skies, but unfortunately the cliffs are, you don't want to hear that boring mumbo jumbo. It's more about what we have for lunch.
And what do we think of the cliffs?
Oh, here we go, hang on a minute. Is this a 60-second review?
It can be.
It's a 60-second review.
Yeah. So considering what you pay to get in to the car park, I would say it's not worth the money, personally. You can see just as good cliffs in so many other beautiful places as well. But if you're prepared to walk here and just pay €3 like we have, then it's definitely worth it, because you do get the visitor centre exhibition. There's the cafes, you can have lunch if you want to push the boat out. So yes, it's worth coming to see, but not spending €24 to do so.
Well, I think it's €24 if you stay overnight. I think it's
14 if you come.
14 if you come for the morning experience.
Yeah. 20 for the afternoon.
So 20 for an afternoon slot, and then 14 again in the evening.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's worth it for that perspective.
Yeah.
But then again, if you're not that mobile and you're willing to spend it, then come.
You can get. We saw people getting a little buggy ride up to the viewpoints if you haven't got very good mobility. So don't be put off by the fact that you have to walk here. If you can pay for it, then do, if you really want to see it. And if you haven't seen other massive cliffs before, then I'm sure you would find it pretty impressive. We've just been spoiled, I think, by some of the things like in Shetland, like Eshness and places like that. So
here endeth Nicolas' slightly longer 60-second honest review. Lunchtime. Well guys, that's us almost back at the van, and I think in total, including walking on past the visitor centre, we've probably done about 9 miles, so definitely worth it.
Yeah, we ended up spending 6 hours, including walking there and back, so we were there about 3 hours. And actually, in hindsight, I did really enjoy it. Did you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would say a little bit crafty, but because the visitor centre and everything's free, if you wanted to park close to it, then get your guests to jump out of your car and you go park, and then you've only got to pay for one person parking. Whether or not that's the done thing to do or not, I shall leave that up to you. Or if you're up for an all-day hike, park here, €3. I say it's €5 if you want to park day and night.
And we had tea, coffee, 2 cakes, parking for €2 more than what it would have cost us to both go to the official car park.
Exactly.
So well worth it. And you get a good walk out of it.
So right now we are going to head back to the van. Nicolas got a little bit of work coming through, so logistics man on the case. And given the fact that, as you can probably tell, the sun has come out, it's really warm, it would be nice to get parked up close to a water source, because this one has to do more of her half marathon training. So we'll catch up when hopefully we find a semi-decent park up for the night. But yeah, Cliffs of Moher, worth coming.
Yeah, it is worth coming to.
I would say do the €3 car park and get your hike on. See you in a bit. Well, good evening again, guys. You can see the van parked up there. It was actually a little bit stressful finding a park up spot. Nicola had a bit of work to do, so we parked up on that pier. We've ended up in a rather nice location indeed. Scaring the life out of all the bird life as well. So yeah, beautiful. So we're just in the process of making ourselves some tea, and we're going to just chill out, because it's been a tiring day with the Cliffs of Moher walk. Finding somewhere with good connection for Nicola to do a bit of work, and then finding a park up spot. I think this is actually some of the latest that we like to get settled. I know a lot of people will park up late, but we like to get settled in sort of at a spot sort of late afternoon. So it's 8:30. That's quite late for us. Time to go back to the van and get some scrag. See you guys in the morning. Well, that was another lovely peaceful night here in this little park up, and what an absolutely beautiful morning as well. Love hearing all the wildlife wake up. And in fact, last night we came out under the cover of darkness, and there were think they were curlews, kind of calling to each other through the darkness. Rather nice indeed. So the sun has literally just broken the horizon, and that probably means it's time for me to go in and make coffee. We also have to try to find Nicolas a place to run. I think we have found it. We're about 15-20 minutes away from a place called Kilkee, which is where I wanted to head anyway, to go visit the Kilkee Cliffs, which I think will rival the Cliffs of Moher. But I think first up it's coffee time, and I might even get her out of her slumber to come out and watch a bit of wildlife and listen to a bit of wildlife as that sun makes appearance. So what a beautiful little spot to wake up to. Coffee time. Well, that's a wee crafty 11 miles in the tank, and by my reckoning Nicolas should be coming past me at some point, almost finishing off her run. So we'll give her a bit of a cheer as she goes past. I think she'll still have a little bit to go. Beautiful, one of the best courses I've ran in a long time. Oh, she looks like she's suffering. It was a tough one.
Still got a bit more to go. Right.
Good girl. Yeah, one of the best courses I have run in a long time. Almost on a par with the Kinloch leaving to Fort William West Highland Way trail run, which is an awesome one, still my favourite. But that, we'll take you up there later. Stunning. Right, guess I better get the coffee on.
It is. I couldn't have done another mile, couldn't have done a half. No, I could have done a half.
Right.
I thought it was going to be sick.
Good job you weren't. Well guys, that's us. Our little 11-mile run done. Quite hilly. She did really well. Pushed herself all the way. And then we went in the sea, and I had to convince her to go in the sea.
Which I'm glad I did, because it's the clearest water ever. Yeah. And there was like little fish nibbling at my ankles. It was quite cute. Yeah,
fantastic. So just walk down to the little, again, seems to be quite difficult to find public loos. Public loos are here, but they seem to be locked. Yeah, so if you're ever here, this is Kilkee, by the way. The Diamond Rocks Cafe actually has public loos, about 6 public loos out the back of them that we noticed this morning as we were running, so that's worthwhile knowing. The public loos along the beachfront seem to be locked up, and that might be that the Irish schools have gone back. So we're going to wander now down into Kilkee and explore that a little bit. As is always the case on days that we do long runs, by the time you kind of come back and shower and wash and go in the sea and all that and have lunch, it's now 2 o'clock. So explore Kilkee, and then we're going to go find ourselves a park up for the afternoon and evening. You know you're in Ireland when the birds are eating potatoes. I know we said we were going to go and check out the town, but we've actually just been sitting in the sun, making the mistake of saying hello to the locals, because you know that then 20 minutes later and you've heard everyone's life story. But what an absolutely stunning day. We're actually getting a bit too warm sitting up there, but now we're going to go and check out the mess and see whether there's any treats.
And apparently there's a fantastic ice cream shop up here somewhere, so we might just peruse.
Peruse ice cream. Yeah, that sounds like me. So we're just exploring one of the little sort of headlands here on Kilkee. Actually it's Kilkee, I think I said Kilkee, which of course is in Northern Ireland. But we were just laughing because we like to take the complete mickey out of Instagrammers who arrive up in places all dolled up to get their Instagram shots, and then we just realised that we're running about with a camera while she's dressed like Marilyn Monroe. Instagram for the gram.
I didn't know we were coming here.
Beautiful, stunning.
He may be doing Instagram posts.
No, she was begging for it. She was like, please take my pictures like that. And I said, please. Yeah, so I think as I said earlier, Kilkee Cliffs,
have a look over here.
She's off. The Kilkee Cliffs for me match the Cliffs of Moher, and one of the things that was quite frustrating about the Cliffs of Moher around the the visitor centre area, was I can understand why from a health and safety point of view, but the walls were all really high, so it was very difficult to get a kind of a view of the cliffs.
It's scary down the side.
She's back.
Yeah.
Did you see her
I
doing another one?
freaked out. My crab walk when I get scared.
I think it was good to do the walk from the car park yesterday so we get a bit of appreciation of the cliffs.
I prefer these, I think.
Absolutely.
Is that what you said?
No kind of health and safety, no nothing. So come and
That's not why we prefer them.
come and do the Kilkee Cliffs. And of course we're now doing the loop head drive, looking for somewhere to park up for a cuppa and a bit of a chill out. We've made it down to our little overnight spot and we're just wandering out to perhaps catch the last of the light.
Unfortunately, we're a bit later than we hoped to be because I had a few hours work to do, and then there was dinner, which of course always takes priority.
Very spicy. Very
Yeah,
spicy
a bit too
curry.
spicy.
If there had been a little bit of a gap, I reckon the light would have been really nice tonight, but as it is, I don't think we're going to see much. But we're going to head out, see the landscape anyway, because this one here, I mean, I've never been here, but I've seen plenty of images of it, and it does look very impressive.
And
so
it's a really, really mild evening, and it's probably the last mild evening we're going to get.
yeah,
So we thought we'd make the most of it.
mild, but also breezy, so no midges. Sweet. Right, let's head out.
I'm not dancing, I'm not.
It was so funny. I was like, oh, it'd be nice maybe tomorrow morning if there's a bit of better light, get a wee picture of you out on the bridge. And the first thing she was like, I'm not dancing. We
made that pact, we're not dancing.
We did. So she'll just stand stationary on the bridge.
So I was just there a little bit concerned in case we were over 3.5 ton on the bridge.
After that curry portion, we may well be. Well guys, that's us for another week, and tomorrow we are finishing up in County Clare and we're getting a little ferry. We're actually going to get the ferry across to Kerry.
Generally, I know nothing of what we're seeing till we get there because Nigel does all the logistics. So when you see it on the video, that is really
really her reaction.
It honestly is.
None of these double takes.
I haven't looked at anything that we're going to see, so.
Yeah, oh, that we're going to see. I thought you hadn't looked at anything.
I just saw something out there, but I think it's a bird.
She's off again.
Yeah.
Right, guys, so we shall catch up next week, probably on board the little ferry that's taken across to County Kerry. And once again, thanks a lot for following along on our little Wild Atlantic Way bimble. And until next week, take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.